Salam, and Dead Not True. Welcome back in today. Today we're going to be talking about the Samana Mesafint, or the Age of Princes in Ethiopia. The Age of Princes was a time period in what is the modern-day country of Ethiopia. During this time between the 1600s to the 1800s, this era would wage a competition for power. In the early 1600s, the Solomonic dynasty had no fixed capital. The dynasty would move its capital from area to area from time to time. In the 1600s, the aficionados would change this and made the capital in the city of Grandeur. With this action being done, the southern territories of the kingdom would be written off, and it would be hard to keep authority over distant provinces within the kingdom. This would start the Great Era of the Princes. This era would see regional lords under the Solomonic dynasty or kingdom start to break off from the kingdom and rule over their own territories. These new princes and warlords around different regions would all start to fight to become the emperor of the dynasty. Ras Mikhail Saho would be called on from the Tigray region. His talent and dominance would gain him a reputation, and the emperor of the Solomonic dynasty would call for his help to take back the provinces. He would be sent to deal with the Oromo people who were Muslim at this time. Mikhail Saho would be successful and at the same time was scheming on the emperor. He would play political strategies against the emperor in the background and in plain sight. He would go on to get two emperors killed and would install a puppet emperor which he controlled in the background. This process would repeat over and over in this time period, and puppet emperors would keep being installed when a prince would rise to enough power and dominance. This would be no easy task though. Princes would have to battle princes from different regions all around Ethiopia. Constant war raged, and warlords also joined in with raids and war on princes' territories. Soldiers were not paid right, and normal citizens in some regions could not farm properly due to war to feed their population. The biggest regional conflicts came from three regions at this time: the Amhara, Shoa, and Tigray. The Shoa was mostly trying to stay out of the political situations between the Amhara and the Tigray. The Prince of Shoa was more worried about expanding the Shoa's territory to the south and establishing trade in slaves and coffee. The Amhara was in constant internal fighting and could not help defend Ethiopia from external threats. The Tigray would help to reinstate an imperial government. This would lead to the Shoa and Tigray gaining power over time. Ethiopia with internal power struggles would also have to worry about Egypt. After Egypt would free itself from the Ottoman Empire, it would try to expand southward towards Ethiopia. The Egyptians would attack Ethiopia and seize lands in the northern region of Tigray. With a deal from the French and the British, the Ethiopians would get help from the Europeans while giving them safe passage to the Red Sea. With this time of turmoil, Ethiopia was not as strong as it once was. During this time, Ethiopia was also isolated to the world and did not want many to visit the country. Through trade with different Ethiopian tribes and regions, Europeans would trade firearms for safe passage through the country. They also gained resources and had a safe place to not get attacked by other European countries. The Turks, to the north, would trade with the Tigrayan rulers, in which the Tigrayan rulers would use firearms to seize power. Europeans of different professions would start to visit Ethiopia. Missionaries would also try to come into the country. These missionaries were funded by the English, Swiss, and German governments. The missionaries would try to convert Ethiopians to Protestant Christians. Most churches and civilians would refuse this change, and most rulers were more interested with the firearms. Though the Europeans failed, they did give vital information about technology being developed in their countries. In the early 1800s, fierce campaigns would occur. Ras Selassie of Tigray and Ras Gassa would fight over control of the puppet emperor. Ras Selassie would come out as a winner and ruled the country until 1816. He would pass away at 80 years old. Djazmach Sabagadis of Agami would be the successor of Ras Selassie in 1817. He would then become the warlord of Tigray. Under the emperors Tewodros II from 1855 to 1868, Yohannes VI from 1872 to 1889, and Menelik II from 1889 to 1913, the empire would begin to emerge from its isolation. Under Emperor Tewodros II, the era of the princes were brought to an end. Please like the video, subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you get all my videos. Make sure you subscribe so you can get more videos like this, and that will definitely help with the algorithm so we can get more videos like this. Also, add me on all social medias, which is African Network. And until next time, peace, one love.